More games came out this week than I can count, and by the way, I can only count to 6. It's the week of April 27th, 2014, so let's review some reviews. The first game reviewed this week is Lego the Hobbit. Those Lego games can be hard to let go of. Luckily, this one doesn't seem Hobbit-forming. Destructoid contributor Ian Bonds reviewed it and was less than impressed, and thinks that they might need to rethink these games, stating, quote, "The Lego formula may be finally getting a bit stagnant, and the new additions, while cool, may be too little, too late." Ian gave Lego the Hobbit a 6.5 out of 10. Next up is Kirby Triple Deluxe, a game that should be at least twice as good as Kirby Deluxe. Reviews editor Chris Carter tackled the game and he liked it. The game is basically Kirby Superstar, one of my personal favorites, with the addition of some mini-games, including a simplified Smash Bros. Clone. That's funny, I thought Smash Bros. Was a simplified game already for casual baby gamers. Anyway, Chris had the following to say. Kirby Triple Deluxe is yet another winning entry in the franchise. It delivers the core Kirby experience alongside of very few well-done extras, which is pretty much everything a fan could ask for. Chris gave Kirby Triple Deluxe an 8 out of 10. Chris also took a look at Child of Light. This old-school-inspired JRPG was actually developed by Ubisoft Montreal, making it a CRPG. Luckily, it seems to avoid all those CRPG tropes like moose-derived amnesia, random hockey encounters, and a protagonist who is silent because he has too much maple syrup in his mouth. Chris liked this game, and he felt that, quote, Child of Light will satiate pretty much everyone but the most hardcore of RPG fans, and even then they'll find plenty of enjoyment. Chris gave Child of Light an 8.5 out of 10. Next is FRACT OSC, the beautiful music puzzle exploration game. In this game, there's loads of exploring and interacting with everything you can touch, pulsing beats, and vibrant lighting. So if popping a ton of Molly and going to the club isn't in your budget, this game might be for you. Alistair Duncan reviewed it and highly suggests everyone check it out, regardless of their level of music skill. Alistair gave FRACT OSC an 8.5 out of 10. The list goes on to our next game, Life Goes On. Destructoid's Darren Nakamura reviewed this puzzle game where you play as a king who keeps sending his knights to go die one by one, and eventually you can beat the level by using all those corpses of knights you've just murdered. Boy, video games sure are fun. He liked the core mechanics of the game, but thought the presentation was lacking. Darren gave Life Goes On a 7 out of 10. Also reviewed by Darren was the last piece of Borderlands 2 DLC, Sir Hammerlock vs. the Son of Crawmerax. This is the last piece of Borderlands content before the release of Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Unfortunately, it does not fulfill my dream of having Gearbox put Duke Nukem in the Borderlands universe. Come on, he would be a perfect fit. Darren also wasn't a big fan of the DLC, I'm assuming for the same reason. He said that, quote, although it does not complete Borderlands 2 with a bang, it does a decent job of rounding out the series and setting up for the next one. Darren gave Borderlands 2, Sir Hammerlock vs. the Son of Crawmerax, a 6 out of 10. Last up is the official Destructoid Stinker of the Week, Daylight. Caitlin Crook reviewed this survival horror game that is based around a mysterious dude who yells commands at you about how to make it through the world and not get destroyed by ghosts. And while this is what every conversation with my dad is like, it didn't seem to translate well into a video game. Caitlin didn't like the game at all, stating, quote, overall, I felt as if Daylight was made as a jump scare machine with a loosely tacked on plot. Caitlin gave Daylight a 4 out of 10. So there you have it. A lot of games came out this week. You know, no single game is right for every person, but enough games came out this week that even if some miss you, some will definitely hit. That's why I'm giving the week of April 27th, 2014, 8 shotgun blasts out of 10. Thanks, and make sure to check out all the reviews on Destructoid.com.